Hey, how's it going, guys? DJ F here, and today we're going to be talking about and continuing the discussion about mixing in FL Studio and tips about EQing.
Traptendo.
So here we go. So I have the track from the last video in here, and I do recommend that you have studio monitors, or you're listening to it in studio monitors, or listening to it in headphones rather than listening to it on like computer speakers or laptop speakers, so you hear the dynamic range. So as we begin here, as you look at the snare on the snare track here, you have an asymmetrical boost within the mid of frequency content. So how significant is that to the mix here? Very. As you can see, as I attenuated it or reset it back down to normal, the snare got lower in volume and lost its edge. Boosting that frequency content gives it that cut in between the track and certain things like the pad. As you can see there, when I took away that, it lost some of its edge in the pad here. And also keep in mind there, if you are on, like, if you have an audio interface or a console, that FL Studio will compress what I'm doing right here, right now, which isn't compressed. So, it might be peaks and stuff like that you'll see. So, don't be nitpicky, but I don't know. Leave that in the comment section. But so I'm going to add this back in. I'm going to add some of that mid. And as you can see there, the snare is cutting through the pad there because I wanted the snare to have its edge and its snap so that it is moving the track, because that is the flavor that I'm going for when I'm doing this track or creating this beat here. Later on, when vocals, if vocals ever make it to this track, that will help with the movement of this track. It actually sounds pretty good with it being a little bit more asymmetrical and me attenuating the frequencies into other parts of the frequency content, like the low mids and stuff like that. So it actually sounds pretty good. So gonna turn up the volume. Keep in mind, I do see from time to time, again, people will do certain things, and that's how my kick's supposed to sound like. But I'm going to go ahead and mute the Maximus that I have here. And if you're wondering what this is, it's basically another tutorial that I have in my older mixing in FL Studio. Yeah, one of those. But it's like a free preset that you can check out. It's called Big Kicks. But there's other ways to achieve a big kick, but some things can be a little bit detrimental to it. Right now I'm getting some good old peakage from it, and it is clipping, but you have that kick there, but that might be what you're aiming for as like a producer or engineer. That might be the sound or the edge that you want. The only major issue here is that you're gonna have to go and do what I just did right here, and add some mono. Make sure that it's condensed in the mono field, so it's in the middle of the track, so it's not taking over the unlike frequency content, such as like your bass. But as you see, as I took that away and I kept that in right here in the middle, it's still as tight. But also, this is the way I like to mix my stuff. I do that. But that's one of the tips I can, tell you guys. So, all right, we're going to move on because we're going to go into this right here. And I'm going to try to be as quick as possible with these tutorials. And no. So I'm going to load up this track that me and JW Lucas did. JW Lucas did like all the incredible stuff. All I did was kind of just mix it down. And I think I might have added something, but this track, I'm just going to play this track. And, it still needs a little work, but there's a lot of things going on here. Because of so much of the frequency content, there's a lot more EQing that had to go along. Alright, so we had this sound right here. And boy, is there a lot of stuff going on right here. As you can hear, there is a lot of distortion. So the way that the EQ works in this particular, or EQing works in this particular area, is that I did want the edge of the distortion that was caused, but I didn't want certain things and elements in there. Like this. And I'm going to go ahead and introduce the lower frequency content again, and you'll hear it. It's quite overbearing, especially if I was to play. I'm going to add kick. 808, clap, etc. As you can hear right there, again, that arbitrary term that engineers use, the muddiness is there. But what's happening is that their frequencies, their unlike content that is clashing, or like content that is clashing as well. And, the edge from that main sound effect lead distortion is getting drowned out by all the other frequency content. So the thing is, that I wanted to do was take that particular part of the frequency content out so that, things like the 808 and the kick could, be the bigger part of the track and not that. And it has some consistency. Hey, hey, hey. So this way I wanted to show you guys, like, what to listen for. I'm going to add it back in there so that you can hear what's going on. Again, I didn't want to take away from certain things like the punch of the track, but I did want the distorted sound to be the main part of the show in the middle presence. That's why I boosted it so that it's not going to be so far behind. So with that, I hope you guys kind of understand like the basic concepts of like EQing and stuff like that. You know, you just there's certain things you definitely have to, you know, takes experience and learn how to fill them out and see what works best for you, and then what works best in like whatever sound system that you're at. So, you know, EQing is kind of one of those particular things there that could really help you, could hurt you in certain things. Oh, before I do go away, and that actually reminds me, this clap here. As you can see, this clap doesn't really sound like this, and I'm gonna make sure I don't mess this thing up here. Oh, it don't matter. I'm using the demo joint. See how much of everything that was lost in that clap when I just reduced it? I'm gonna go ahead and there we go. See, that clap has a lot more body in it. That's another thing about EQing that helps in general there. As I did mess with the level of it, I messed with the volume, the gain level of this, or basically the level of it. So, but you know, just to add certain things back in, elements in to create such a big clap, other than, you know, adding a reverb, which is going to add more presence in general. You know, that gave it a bigger edge in the track itself. So now I'm gonna slide out now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm DJ Ad McCree, and stamp time.
Trap Tendo.